Hello, everyone. Nice to see you again. Thank you all for being here with me. I wanted to make this video to talk to you a little bit about my reintroduction, which I had recently within the past week or so. And I wanted to take you through my new and updated site, just to give you a tour and give you a sense of the changes that I made and things that I want you to see and be aware of that you may not notice if you just go on the site and you go straight to, let's say, my bio or whatever. So first, I want to talk about my reintroduction, and I want to give you a sense of as to why that needed to happen for me. Okay. I spent, let's see, well, maybe like 4 years, I would say, maybe 5, because I started Reiki in 2012. Okay. I started Reiki in 2012. And that's when my intuition started expanding and opening up slowly. Even though I wasn't doing readings per se, I was doing like a little, intuitive report after my Reiki sessions, and I was picking up on things. But I would say I spent a few years doing readings professionally. And there was a certain point, if you remember, I posted a YouTube video on this, maybe in 2018 or so, where I started to feel as though doing readings started to feel stifling. I was working at 2 bookshops, and I just felt like a big plant in a small pot. Like, I'm expanding, but this just doesn't feel like it's supporting where I'm going. So I had to give myself room to grow and expand and basically explore what it meant to be a larger version of myself. So I had to be willing to kind of consider what that meant, even if it meant not doing readings or really doing anything that people typically associate with being spiritual. And I've talked about this time and time again, and it's coming back around and once again, like being reaffirmed that spirituality is not about confining yourself or being pigeonholed into a certain box and only doing readings, only doing Reiki, or only doing this, only doing that. Spirituality is about what is in alignment with your heart's desires and what it is that you feel gives you a sense of, I guess, expansion, what helps you to feel anchored in your own self. Okay, what gives you a sense of purpose. I use that carefully, that term carefully, because I know it can be misconstrued. But basically, I started to feel as though I needed to grow and expand. So this is when things really started to shift for me, was in 2018. However, I didn't receive a lot of clarity as to what to do next until, I would say, within the last year. This is when I started to get more clarity as to, okay, I was still doing readings for a bit because it is a skill that I have. So I'm good at it and I can give intuitive insight and all that. So I continue to do it as a way to support me and to just kind of keep things going. But after a while, I noticed that it just started to get more draining for me, and I wasn't able to really maintain it the way that I did. So I had to tweak some things, and change some things around in terms of how I was offering intuitive guidance. So I had to make it clear that there are certain things that you couldn't ask me, or certain things that I wouldn't go into. I had to just kind of tweak the purpose of the intuitive guidance, so people would know that if they're coming to me for guidance, it has to be going in a certain direction. Because people will ask, if you give people free range, they'll ask anything. People are nosy. Okay. And I'm not about that. Like, if you don't need to know something, then you don't need to ask. That's how I see it. So I started offering the soul portraits. That was like where I started to see, maybe before then too, when I came out with the Golden Goddess initiations. But this is where, when I started doing soul portraits, this is where I started to feel like, okay, there are other ways that I can be as I am, larger, and really start tapping into these aspects of myself, these skills, these talents, these I guess, things that I love to do without it necessarily fitting into a certain category. This is where I noticed things really started to expand and I started to tap into a bigger field. Okay. But in December, I would say around December is when things like started to open up another level once again. And that's where I started to receive more information about certain past lives that I've had, certain civilizations like Egypt that I have an affinity for. That connection started to clarify, and I started to get more information as to um, who I was, what skills that I had in that lifetime, or those lifetimes rather. And those memories started to come back to me. Okay. And I started to open up to tons and tons of information it's still going. And it was around that time, or this time also, that I started to feel the entry of my Arcturian family. Now, I noticed them start to come in a few years ago, but we didn't really have much interaction at the time. Now is like where I feel them right next to me. That's now how close it is with us. And at this point now we're co-creating some healing techniques that are they're channeled. So it's not something that I've been trained in formally. It's something that me and the Arcturian, I call them my Arcturian healing team, or I feel like the term that they like is kind of like engineers, light engineers. So we're co-creating a healing system, okay, that is unique to us, okay, and things that are needed for humanity at this time. And it's been very powerful because before I bring these things to you, they have to come through me first. So which means I have to feel all the effects that at some point people will feel, which is, it's a lot. It's tough. I'm still dealing with the effects, but it's also been very powerful. So my reintroduction is a reflection of everything that has transpired over the past, like, let's say 2 months, 3 months at this point. But it's also just, it's been up and coming. It's something that's been in the process, but timing is everything. So I don't think things happen before the right timing. So that's what's been happening for me. So I'm going to screen share in a moment to kind of explain, my site and things that I have up there. I guess I'll just do it now. Let me see. I'm sorry, I'm kind of like moving the focus is kind of moving in and out here. Okay, so here we go. This is my new site. So as you can see, I have my name, Star Ambassador, Light Technician, and Conduit for the New Human Template. So as a Star Ambassador, that's just a term that I use to describe how I bring forth messages, energy, and wisdom through my star family. So I said this on a blog that I posted, that my star family and I work together, and we are basically working to bring through information and energy that is needed for humanity at this time. That is a big part of the reason why I came here at this time. Is it's a pivotal time in our history, and that has been I guess that's basically been the theme throughout a lot of lifetimes. Is it's a pivotal time on the planet. There's certain things that are needed, or certain things that need to be experienced. So here you go, you come down and you do your thing. So that has been kind of like the process that I've been going through. So Star Ambassadors, basically I represent several star races that are all connected to me as family. We're connected, and they work through me via my life mission on this planet, or a facet of it at least. And light technician, that just felt like a term that felt right for me. Basically, that means that I am working with light and facilitating the entry of that through people's energy system. And that helps to facilitate some sort of change, transformation, whatever is needed for the person at that point in time for their personal needs. Now, the conduit for the new human template is a new one. Like light technician is kind of new too, but conduit for the human template is new because this is pointing out basically the intention and the theme behind the healing system that I and the Arcturian Council or light engineers are bringing forward. Okay, because basically the whole purpose of this, and I'm going to go into this in a blog, is to bring forward new codes for an expansion of what it means to be human. We're redefining what it means to be human. We're expanding that definition. Okay, so, and it'll be very interesting. Because we typically have like a definition of what it means to be human. We're physical, we have emotions, we think, we eat, and all that stuff. But there is a version of ourselves that resides within the future that is carrying a much more expanded version of our humanity. Okay, so this is what we're bringing forward, okay, is that expanded version. More expanded in the energy of love, mindfulness, consciousness of ourselves beyond the physical vessel. Okay, so just I wanted to explain that. All right, so here I just have a meet me thing. I'm not going to read through it. You can read through it when you go on my website. Here I have the Ankh soul activation, and I'll go through, this is part of the healing system that I've been sharing. Soul Writings is basically my blog. All right, testimonials I have up here. My free ebook, you can download that. And at the bottom you have a contact form. And okay, so I want to clarify this. The bottom here, what you see is subscribing to my newsletter, which is different than becoming a member. Okay, so I want to clarify that. Becoming a member is different than subscribing to the newsletter. Okay, if you subscribe to the newsletter, you'll get an email maybe once every few months. I really don't send newsletters a lot. Okay, so just know that I'm not annoying with it. I send it out once in a while. All right, so here, if you go to the About Me, that's my bio, which you can also get to if you go to the Meet Me and just hit read more. It's the same thing. So I give you a little bit there, not that much more. I wasn't guided to give much more than that. But here, Gateways to Eternity. This is what I'm calling my healing system. We have the Golden Goddesses, because I feel like the Golden Goddess initiations can be considered like a initiatory process or like a precursor to the gateways. Okay. So I'll just go on there really quick so you could see. Golden Goddess initiations, tell you all the information. I am going to be making a couple of changes though, mainly the price, because things have up leveled and I've been getting more information. So the price point, the investment will be increasing. All right, so the first gateway that we have is the Ankh. Okay, so I just give you a very basic overview of the Ankh and how I'm using it through this part of the healing system. And if you're interested in learning more, what it's going to do is it's going to take you to the page for booking it. But I give you some more information about it. So I give you information about how long it lasts, you know, how long I spend doing the healing or the activation, and how long we spend talking about the effects and anything else that I might be getting. Because I have had times where I receive information afterwards, things that you need to know. And sometimes I'll get like a transmission that'll happen after the initial healing is done. So that is a part of the session. So it's typically around 45 minutes to an hour. I go over things that you need to know, side effects that you might experience. And this is not set in stone. It's just some people have experienced these things. So I like to outline it. So here you see the prices, $222. But I have a special going on right now where you can get $47 off that price, but you have to become a member first. But becoming a member is free. I don't charge for it. All right. So you can become a member and you'll get a discount off that price. But I'll tell you that in a second. I just want to take you through the rest of the site. We'll get to the end and I'll tell you how to become a member. Right, so the next thing I have that I want to show you, like I have the second gateway, but I haven't posted anything on it yet, but it's coming. All right. Book me. It just takes you through all the things that I offer. Gateways to Eternity, that's the first one. Visionary art. So I'm still offering my soul portraits and the spirit guide portraits. Okay. That's spirit guide portrait there. Intuitive guidance. So this is my version of intuitive guidance. This is not for asking what's prophetic questions. This is not to ask for what's going to happen in the future. This is for transmissions that are needed for you at this time, whether it be information, could also be a download that you need to receive. That's what this is about. Okay. Sometimes it is guidance, things that you need to do. So there's that. Saida School is just my where I post courses. All right. So that's the Golden Goddess initiations there. And then I also have private coaching. If there are certain things that you want to work on that you'd like to improve on, that's where I recommend you do the one-on-one coaching, which I offer at an hourly rate. So there's that that you can click on if you want to work on something, let's say increasing your intuition, your discernment. If you're having some issues through your ascension process or spiritual growth process, we can talk about it and I can give you some recommendations or anything else that I feel like you need to know that's going to help you. So there's that. Here's my blog right here. So if you want to go through all the blogs, you can also subscribe to my blogs too. Just go here and you'll get an email every time I post a blog. Videos right here. So that's just my videos. I don't think I posted the most recent one though. I have to put that on there. All right, so this is the next thing that I want you to see that's important because I don't think enough people are seeing this. And that's the Cosmic Corner. So the Cosmic Corner is something that I created as a way for us to connect and interact without the use of Instagram or Facebook or TikTok. Because quite frankly, and this is just me, I'm getting a little tired of Instagram. It's just feeling dead to me. Like I'll post things on there to interact in some way, but I'm not really feeling connected to it, which means I might not last on there that much longer. So if you'd like to interact, you can join my Cosmic Corner group. Now, it's a place where I post updates, I post videos, I post, just insights, thoughts, things that I feel will be helpful to you also. But it is a private group, so you do have to become a member in order to join. So this is one way that you can sign up to become a member. It's not the only way, but I'm just going to show you. I'm going to hit join. So what's going to happen is it's going to say sign up, already a member, log in. So you can sign up through Facebook, Google, or just through email. And if you're already a member, obviously you just log in. But this is a way that you can become a member, is you can try joining the group and it'll ask you to sign up. All right. So I really like the idea of the Cosmic Corner. It gives me a chance to post things that are associated with things that I'm going through that are very specific to, spiritual growth, ascension, but also experiences that I've been having with my star family that have really expanded since my reintroduction. Like things have really opened up and I'm getting a lot of insights, but also it's been very difficult. So I share some of those difficulties with you because, I like the intimate discussion. So I really like the idea of the Cosmic Corner. And if you feel called to it, I highly recommend you join. Again, it's free. I am going to be updating the group rules though, because there are certain things that I do not want on that group. Okay, and I'll make that known. Here you'll see my art gallery that was there before. Art gallery. You can buy the art here underneath, yada, yada, yada. Past interviews I've done is here. I'm not really going to go through. All right. And here is contact, but the contact is on the first page. So that's, So the last thing here, this is another way that you can become a member. I think personally, this is probably easier. If you try to log in, if you hit the login button, See, you get the same thing. You can either log in if you're already a member, or you can sign up with email, Google, whatever. Okay. Move this. All right. So that's another way that you can do it. If you become a member, you get a $47 off discount for my Ankh soul activation session. This discount will be emailed to you, and it can be used as many times as you want. This is what I want people to understand. You can use it as many times as you want up until February 23rd, and then the price will be as it is. I'd highly recommend this to you because the Ankh sessions, you can do one. You can do that. But I recommend people doing more than one, just because when I was working with this part of the healing system for myself, I noticed that I had to work with the energy every day. I'm not saying you got to do a soul activation every day, but I'm like, okay, in order for this energy to really do its thing and finish its work, I can't just do one session. There might have to be multiple sessions for people. All right. So now I recommend giving yourself some downtime in order to process, the first session, because it can be a lot depending on what you've done already. I feel like people that have done Reiki tend to have an easier time, or find that the effects are a little bit more amplified. And then, so the first session may take you some time to acclimate to, and then the second session, a lot of people really experience stuff during the second session. These sessions build on one another. All right. So this is why I recommend just get what you can now while the discount is active, because it would be good to do more than one and get the effects that whatever it is that you need. Because the second gateway, which will be the Merkaba, which I'm working on now, it's coming soon. The Ankh Soul activations help you to prepare for that second gateway. Because I'm still processing the second gateway, honey, and I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, this is intense. Like, I don't want to steer people away from it, but I think those that are drawn to it will know. But it is so just amazing, like the things that I have been experiencing, but it's also been very intense for me, where I'm like, okay, I really need some time to process this, because it's been a lot. It's been a lot, unlike anything that I've experienced before. So this is what I would recommend. Do some long soul sessions first, get things nice and clear, and prepare yourself for the second gateway, because it's a lot. I also have a third gateway that I want to work on, but I think I'm getting the third gateway, but I'm not certain yet. So I don't know. I'll let you know. All right, so I'm going to stop the share now, bring it back. All right, so I think that's pretty much it. Okay, that's pretty much it. So just to wrap it up, if you become a member and you join the Cosmic Corner, you'll have access to videos and posts that I'm not putting on social media. Like I filmed a video just a couple of minutes ago that I'm going to be posting on there. All right, so I would highly recommend doing that so we can interact in that way. But beyond that, thank you so much for watching. I send you all so much love, and take care. Bye-bye.